My name is Estefania Gonzalez, and this is my storytelling performance number 2 for my San Jose State University storytelling performance class by Professor Anestes in the fall of 2015. Now, the trickster tale that I will be talking to you guys about today is called El Indio Cantuna, or Cantuna the Indian. Now, this story is aimed for young adults, and it is a legend slash trickster tale that is originally from Ecuador, which is actually the country that I was born. So I'm very happy to be able to share the story with you guys today. And this is how it goes. A very, very, very long time ago, in the capital city of Ecuador, which is Quito, there lived some local clergymen, and they decided that they wanted to build a beautiful, big, spacious looking church that the whole town would be proud of. And they would name it after San Francisco, which was a famous guy back then. So they decided that in order to do this, they needed to find the best architect around. Obvious, right? So they went ahead and they looked around the town, and then they heard about the very famous Indio Cantuna. Now, El Indio Cantuna knew what he was doing. He was a very, very good architect, and everybody knew who he was. So the clergyman went over, they found him, and they said, "Hey, Indio Cantuna, we want to build a beautiful, big, and spacious church that the whole town of Quito would be proud of. Will you go ahead and build us this beautiful church? But just so you know, you have 6 months to go ahead and build us this church." So Cantuna thought about this. Now, of course, back then, to build a really big and beautiful spacious church in 6 months is crazy, near impossible. But Cantuna thought about it really hard and decided, "Okay, I will go ahead and build you this church for you." The clergyman said, "Oh, good, good, good. Now, if you get this church done in time in the 6 months, we will go ahead and give you tons and tons of bags of gold. But if you don't, you will most likely get sent to jail because you couldn't do it in time." Again, El Indio Cantuna thought about it really hard and decided, it's okay. I know I can do it in 6 months. So the clergyman and Cantuna made a deal, and then that same day, Cantuna got started on making the beautiful church. Now, Cantuna got a whole bunch of little Indian workers to go ahead and help out, to start gathering a whole bunch of rocks so that they could go ahead and build this church. Now, as the months went by, he noticed that he might not get it done in 6 months. He tried and make all of the workers go faster and faster, but he just couldn't do it. He knew that it wouldn't be done in time, but still he tried his best. Now, 3 months before, still not done. 2 months before, still not close to being done. A month before, Then, the night before, as you can imagine, Cantuna was very, very desperate. So he went over to this church and he noticed that it wasn't even close to being done. As you can tell, he was very, very, very desperate. He was crying out. He did everything. He stomped. He was so, so, so mad because he couldn't believe that he couldn't get it done in time. So, at that time, somebody heard him, and that was the devil himself, if you can imagine it. So the devil rose from his infernal home and went over to Cantuna and said, "Cantuna, I know that you are a very, very desperate man right now, and I will go ahead and make you a proposition. I will help you finish this church by tomorrow morning if, in return, I can have your soul." Cantuna thought about this and said, "Well, I really need to get it done in time, so okay. I will give you my soul in exchange for finishing the church. But I do have one condition. You must finish building the church with all of the rocks that I have set apart for this." And so the devil thought, this is great. I can definitely do this, and I can definitely claim his soul. So the devil made out the contract, and Cantuna went off and signed it off himself. Now, the devil went ahead and he got started on building the church, and he had all of his little minions rise from the earth, and then they all finished and worked really hard on the church. And by, I think, around 4 o'clock in the morning, or close to when the sun was up around that time, they were 100% done with the church. And so the devil himself went over, said, this church is done, and then went over to Cantuna to go ahead and claim his soul. Now Cantuna, knowing that the devil was coming for his soul, he said, no, 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 no. The deal is not complete. The deal is not complete. You have to use every single rock that was in that pile. And then the devil's like, there's no more rocks in that pile. I used everything. And Cantuna said, no, you didn't. Then he lifts up his poncho, and then he sees that right there is a pebble that he had taken earlier that day. And that, of course, the devil missed. So because Cantuna had kept that little piece of rock, the devil pretty much annulled his contract because the deal was broken. So, by the end of the story, Cantuna had not only finished the church in time, he got the bags of gold, he was able to save his soul, and he also got the chance and the pleasure to know that he had tricked the devil himself. Now, of course, the devil, upon hearing all of this, he was just so embarrassed that he just quickly went right back into the ground and never came back again. And that is how, they say, the Church of San Francisco in the capital city of Ecuador in Quito was made. The end.